Over the last few days, I've watched nearly 30 collector boxes of Final Fantasy get opened, and I want to change my mind on something I recommended the first time I talked about Final Fantasy collectors on the channel. I suggested in that video that maybe $700 was going to be the right price to purchase this box and open it, and potentially get your value back out of the box. If you can find a box of this for between $600 and $700, I think that's a really safe, low risk grab of a $600 to $700 box. It sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but that's where I think we're at. After watching a bunch of these boxes get opened, I'm gonna lower that. I think that $600 is closer. I even think that $500 is the real right price for opening this box. Are you gonna be able to find it for that price anywhere? Absolutely not. It's all crazy. Everything that's going on right now is insane, but I think opening these boxes at $700 is too. Joel R. Magic is brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. TCG Player, the best place to buy them. Dragon Shield, the best way to protect them. And Moxfield, the best way to put your deck lists on the internet. Just $722. That is the price online right now to buy a collector booster box of Final Fantasy. Like I said, I've watched a ton of openings, and a lot of the openings have price trackers going alongside them, or I'm just sort of keeping notes on my own. And if you're going off of singles prices as they are today, yeah, you're seeing some good boxes come back that are hitting that $700. However, what always happens, and I'm sure will happen with this set, is a fall off from pre-order prices. Let's look at Double Masters 2022 first. When it came out, you can see it is a hype season that then falls. This is all the way through the next year. This one is falling. We've got Commander Masters. This one jumped a little bit earlier, but you can also see here, it starts high expected value-wise and trends downward. You've also got Modern Horizons 2. There is that point where things jump, but what is consistent with all of these sets is the pre-order prices start high and then fall off. This is the expected value of packs of these sets that you could open, what they start out as, what you could potentially open, not counting commons by the way, just uncommons, mythics, and rares for all of these sets. You see the trend, start high, fall off, start high, fall off. It is consistent nearly every single time. So looking at some of the singles prices on this set right now in particular, they're ridiculous, y'all. It's Pokemon style out here. Oh, but Joel, those weren't IP sets. This is an IP set. It's got to be treated differently. There's no way that there's going to be that dissension. These prices are for real. All right, let's look at the top card in the top IP set prior to Final Fantasy. It starts high, it goes low. Does it go up over time? Yeah, this was the #1 pick. This was the tip-top card of the set that doesn't belong to a famous rapper. And so when you look at this card and there's that very slight fall off, like there always is, you start to go, oh, maybe this is a trend. Sauron, one of the other top hits here in the borderless poster version, starts high, goes low. The One Ring Showcase version starts high, goes low. Orcish Bowmasters starts high, goes low. Do they go up? Yes, absolutely they do over time. The tip-top cards typically do, and we'll talk about that. But I want to show you the trend. This is down in the 20th most expensive card range of the entire set. You're looking at a market price foil 91, market price 65 card. There's the fall before the rise. That's what happens nearly every time with nearly every single card that is printed in Magic the Gathering. Now, looking at the tip-top examples there from Universes Beyond Lord of the Rings, you can see they don't stay down for long. Most of the middle to low stuff falls off heavy, and you saw how long it can take for some of that stuff to recover with the charts from Double Masters 22, Commander Masters, sets like that. The tip-top cards, though, even those tend to fall and then rise. It happens much more quickly, and maybe even that very top card, because there's always that #1 super chase card in sets, maybe that one doesn't actually have the dip, but for 99% of Magic cards, there's going to be a fall off before there's going to be a rise. I just want to drive that point home before we get get to the next section. So when I'm seeing boxes go for $722 right now online, and I'm watching box openings like Saffron Olives. Saffron opened up 5 collector boxes of this product, $700 each on those 5 boxes for a total of $3,500. Now I'm going to go over numbers from his video to make a case for my video, but what I want you to do is go and give Saffron's video some love. This one's not going to do near as well as his video has done by any means. I just want to make sure you go over there. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment for all of the videos that I'm going to go through today and all of the channels that I'm going to mention or shout out. Please go click on their links, go leave a heart comment on their video or something. Show them some love because I'm basing a lot of my information on what I've seen around the internet. So what Saffron does with his box openings when he goes to price them and see if he can kind of guess the EV, especially early during preview season, he applies a 40 to 50% drop on all those prices just out of the gate. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be much closer than preview prices to go ahead and say, I'm going to take half the cost of that. That's a good rule of thumb, I think, during preview season, prior to that release weekend, not even pre-release weekend, release weekend. Leading up to that, I'm going to look at a card price, any single price, and I'm going to go, that's actually going to be half that in 6 weeks. That's going to be half that in 8 weeks or so. Like I said, 99% of cards, that applies to. The top 1%, they act a little differently, and we'll talk about the chases in the set that are going to give you any value. But with Saffron, he is calculating ahead of time a 50% drop off. The total singles value for Saffron's 5 collector boxes that were $3,500 total was $2,323 of value. That means Saffron's 5 boxes lost $1,177 total. To break even, those 5 boxes would have had to have been $450. And you know what's crazy? The MSRP that Wizards suggested for this set is $450 for a collector box. When I saw that, and then I started exploring other collector box openings that had already been posted, I went and saw Veggie Wagons. I watched Master Case get opened over on Bad Boy Gaming. I watched Jake open his box on Martitious Magic. I watched Zebek's opening, and she actually got a Neon Chocobo. Again, make sure you go watch all of these openings. Go give some love to those channels. All the links are in the description. And then I talked to my buddy Lance over at Rip and Ship. Lance and his team have opened 60 English collector boxes and 10 Japanese collector boxes through their pre-sales that they've been streaming over the last few days, which I've been watching a lot of. Across all the openings, across all the channels, one thing has been consistent. If you're not hitting a Neon Ink Chocobo or a serialized Chocobo, getting your value back on a $700 box is nearly impossible. I asked Lance if I could use his video of him hitting a Neon Chocobo in this section of the video to highlight the fact that these packs, those last 2 slots, that's what you're aiming at, and it is completely feast or famine. If you are in that last slot hitting a Surge foil, and it's the right Surge foil, you're probably in good shape. Obviously, if you're hitting a Neon Ink Chocobo or a serialized Chocobo, you're definitely in fantastic shape. Your value was insane on the box. However, looking at the Surge foils, it's hard to say whether or not all of these are going to hold the value that they have right now, especially when you look at historic comps. I have never seen cards with this power level at this pre-order price level. It's kind of crazy to me. It seems like there's a lot of pre-order pricing based on character and not power level. Like there's a ton of that. With power level, this set is solid. It's not game breaking. A lot of the most powerful stuff I've seen are creatures that have to be in combat, or some of the very few bonus sheet hits that are good value and don't look super strange. But you're seeing it in those last 2 pack slots that have the heat. You can get foil alternates of like just rares from the set. You can get foil alternates of sagas whose power level doesn't really look great and isn't going to have the same pull that a named character would have. You're really trying to hit Surge foils of top characters with that game number treatment behind them, that showcase borderless Surge foil card. If you're looking at this specifically from a value point of view, you can see here, these pre-order prices, if these come down by half, that feels closer to right. These are some of the 1% pulls. If you do happen to hit one of these, I'm trying to make a case of how difficult it is to get the right card in this slot and make one of these boxes worth it. But if you do hit one of these, right now, Cloud Midgar Mercenary Borderless Surge Foil is like $600. That feels like a $300 card to me if we half it. Again, that's like tip top. That's the toppiest ones. The fall off won't be as stark for those, but some of these down in this mid-range, Kefka Court Mage in the Borderless Surge Foil, Squall in the Borderless Surge Foil, these are famous characters, but Vincent Valentine Borderless Surge Foil, I just have a feeling that some of these are not going to hold some of the hype prices, some of these insane preview prices that we're seeing right now. And look, I'll tell you, mostly when I was seeing these packs opened, it was like Jill, which I think these kinds, this row down, I think these prices are going to tank compared to where they're at right now. You've got Surge Foils in that uncommon slot that are in that $10 range right now. You got some that don't obviously have any price because there's no listings because this is a brand new set right now. I just think that right now, as I made a case for early on, these prices are insane, and so to judge the value of the box off of these Surge Foils in particular is just not doing it for me at all. So then there's the Neon Chocobo. It's estimated right now, I've seen people estimating that it's like 1 in every 500 collector boosters. That means it's going to be even less the rarer you get in color, and super even less for an actual serialized Chocobo, which personally I haven't seen on camera yet. I've seen quite a few neon blues. I've seen one neon green, but I have not seen a serialized pop-up yet. And then the difficult part of this is taking all of these observations and trying to moosh them into some sort of recommendation. I don't know if the price of these boxes is going to go down. I'm 99% sure that the prices of the cards will. That's what always happens. I just can't see how this is sustainable with versions of Cloud over $500. That seems crazy to me, especially right from the get-go. That feels like nostalgia traps for people who don't really get Magic the Gathering or haven't engaged with it before, which there's going to be a lot of with this set. It's already the best-selling set of all time. We know that in advance. And so for me to sit here and go, yeah, you shouldn't open this box for any more than $600. Like, that would be my ceiling of opening this box at this point. And really, $500 is where I think it should be if this was a normal world. If these cards didn't have these IP faces on them, I just don't see this set doing what it's doing right now based on power level, which would be the typical thing that would move a Magic the Gathering set. Because we are in IP world, Universes Beyond land now, and things are happening that I've never seen before, I'm just trying to communicate my observations to you as I'm seeing them, so hopefully we can help make these decisions together. Now, please be aware, when we're having this conversation, I'm talking specifically collector product, collector boxes and collector commander decks, which with those, we're talking in this video specifically about the collector box, but those collector commander decks, if you can find them anywhere, go buy them. If it's a price that you're like, okay, I've got that money, I'm not gonna miss my rent because I bought this, go buy them for that price. They're like impossible to find. I don't even know what to recommend with those. But specifically with this video, we're not talking about play boxes and we're not talking about the regular commander decks. Those are going to be printed so much. And I think a lot of what I'm feeling about the prices as they are right now with some of these pre-order cards that are driving the value in these openings I'm watching is that they are also available in play boxes, which are going to be printed into the dirt. A lot of the very same treatments. These Surge Foil borderless cards in non-Surge Foil, the borderless with just the game number behind them, you can get those in regular play packs. Those are available. So it's not like that treatment itself is locked to the Surge Foil treatment either. And so you're going to be able to get playable copies of those, just not in that hot top foil treatment, which will drive the collectability side of it. Now let's be clear, that showcase treatment with the number of the game behind the character, you can find those in play boosters and in collector boosters. That's one of the big points I'm trying to make. That is not true with the commanders, with the 8 commanders that come in the precons. Those in non-foil, foil, and surge can only be found in collector boosters. So that is sort of one of the chases on top of what you're looking for with the chocobos in any color. But the fact that it will have a parfait, and this is what I call a parfait, one single card getting multiple treatments. You've got the base mythic of Cloud Midgar Mercenary pre-selling right now for $24. I think that price is going to go down too. I think all of these prices are going to go down, at least in the short term. Long term, they'll go up. Magic sets act like that a lot. They find a deck, especially in a 60 card format, Modern, Pioneer, that makes the card go up. Standard, that makes the card go up. If a commander deck suddenly has to have that card, that makes the card go up. And we find that over the first 6 weeks of a set typically. But right now, with the parfait being represented from $24 up to $600, I just feel like there's too much disparity here, even though those surge foils are quite expensive. And what I was talking about with the borderless that are available in play packs, $143 card with that borderless non-surge foil Cloud Midgar Mercenary right now, $143 card pulled from a play pack? No thank you. That's not going to stick. That price doesn't work, and it's not a real price, and that is kind of my main point. So that last slot in the packs is really where you're aiming for the surge foil. You've also got the next to last slot in packs that has the Through the Ages bonus sheet. That's where our bonus sheet sits. Now, a Rhystic Study with Tidus and Yuna standing in the water in an iconic Final Fantasy X scene, yeah, I could see that pulling down some dough. But right now, this is $250 for the foil and $170 for the non-foil. You can get this card in a play pack. I want to repeat that. You can get this card in a pack of play boosters from Final Fantasy. This is not locked to the collector box. I feel like some of this pricing is basically treating it as though this is a really rare collector's item that won't be in print for long, but it will be. The Through the Ages bonus sheet is in play packs, just not in foil. And that's the difference. I think that players are acting right now, collector stores are acting right now like all of these cards are super rare and really hard to find, when we know that for a standard set, a play booster experience, having these cards, those are going to get opened for a while. And we know that every pre-release that we can find is sold out right now. People are clamoring for this set. That is good for singles purchasers. That means that the singles in particular are going to go down because there's a lot of this getting opened. That's another reason I'm so confident that it's going to follow a similar trend graph-wise with the prices of these singles. They're gonna fall. Be patient on that. And just to reiterate the ridiculousness, that foil price right now is at around $700 for the Rhystic Study from Final Fantasy X. Things are out of hand right now. Yes, this card is only in collector packs, and you could get that, and if it holds this value, man, that could make opening a collector pack worth it. There's a lot of non-hits in those 2 slots as well. I hope by this point I've made the case that those last 2 slots of the collector booster, it's hard to hit a card that is relevant, and even then, if you do, the short term, I think that those prices are going to go down. If you get one early, sell it into the hype. All in all, I wouldn't be opening these boxes for $700. I just don't think you're going to hit your value. Maybe long term, if you just hit the right cards and then sit on them, that's potential, but I would also recommend you just buy singles from this set. Wait 60 days and start buying singles then, because I think you're going to save some money long term and get the cards you want. If you like this video, I appreciate you watching this far. Hit that like button or hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that. I'll catch you in the next one.